single sentence that Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that is irrelevant. Everything is creating such a picture of pure devotion for our journey, our progress.
This compilation presents the following select clips.
Chapter 1, here, page 9. So yesterday we had this remarkable example of the water, if you remember, and it was describing what is the swabhav, to appreciate the eternal dharma and nature of water as liquidity, not as its acquired nature, nishag. Nishag is the acquired nature. So be familiar and comfortable with these terminologies because they really fit beautifully when we realize I'm in this material body and this is an acquired nature for my soul. It's not who I am. But it takes time to realize that. Even we hear it again and again and again, but still. But if slowly we begin to leave behind our various material priorities and try to put this spiritual practice more and more on the front burner of my existence, then it's going to become more simple to relate to the fact that I'm soul and not this material body. So we discussed this, or Bhaktivinoda Thakur described this very beautifully about the ice and its acquired nature. So try to hold on to these. And if you get a chance to repeat this to somebody, it's a mind-blowing description. People can get it straight away. Yes, the ice is liquid. It's not hard, but it's thinking that it's hard because of so much time being an iceberg. Sannyasi Thakur is saying, what is that? Oh, what is it that is called Vastu? And what is the meaning of swabhav? So he's already explained it, but we need to hear it again. Paramahamsa Babaji said, the word Vastu is derived from the Sanskrit verbal root vas, which means to exist. So we're discussing, remember the question all the time that Sannyasi Thakur asked. If there's one dharma, why do so many people describe it in different ways? We're trying to understand the nature of dharma. We're trying to understand this, and Premdas Babaji is explaining it by defining the nature of dharma. There are two types of Vastu, Vastava and Avastava. The term truly abiding substance, Vastava, Vastu, refers to that which is grounded in transcendence. If it's a truly abiding substance, then it has eternal existence. Ultimately, it's going to be mentioned there are only three Vastus: Bhagavan, the Jiva, and the material energy, or Maya. Only three in existence. There's no others except these three. And everything else is revolving around these three essential Vastus. And the relationship between these three Vastus is called Sambandha Gyan. So this chapter is about Sambandha Gyan in relationship to these three principles. So we have Vastava, Vastu and Avastava. When we put an A in front of it, like we say Agyan, which is ignorance, we say Avaishnava, which is not a Vaishnava. There's different words we use with the A in the front. It means it's not that. So Avastava. And Dravya, solid objects, and Guna, qualities. These are temporary. Qualities and solid objects are only material. They're not eternal. Three Vastus: Bhagavan, Jiva, and Maya. These are the three eternally abiding substances. He's describing what is Dharma. If Dharma is not based on this, then it's going to be based on some material influence. It's going to have a little bit of a twist on it. In other words, you get different religions, and some of the religion will have some value if it's come something from the Vedic teachings, but then the rest of it has all been imported, so to speak, according to the culture and traditions of the land where that religion has manifested from. But it won't be pure Dharma. It'll be Mishra. It'll be mixed. Therefore, the word Vastu refers to three fundamental principles: Bhagavan, the Jiva, and Maya. So understand that, and understand it in relationship to what is the meaning of Sambandha Gyan. It means the relationship between these three. What is my Jiva relationship with Krishna, ontologically, spiritually, and what is my relationship with Maya? Maya has the propensity to control me. Krishna controls Maya. My relationship with Krishna is If we understand this principle of eternal truths, our life becomes very strong. It's very much, we're building a platform of truth, of essential realities. And it's not what we had always thought it was previously. We have to be educated to come to accept this reality. That means we have to let go of what we previously considered was the absolute truth. This is what education means. When you accept a new focus, a new standard, a new truth, that means you let go of that previous impression, and you come to the truthful impression. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was talking to us. We have to understand this topic very clearly. We want to, because it's very deep. And if we catch it, it'll make a world of difference in everything that we perceive in this world. It'll make this distinction between matter and spirit. I was saying this yesterday. It's the first teaching in Bhagavad Gita. What is the distinction between matter and spirit? Once that's understood categorically, then you're not going to be confused for anything. If there's various deaths or suffering or disasters, etc., you can see it in the context of what is eternal and what is temporary. It doesn't mean you become callous and hard to various catastrophes that happen in life and you just reside in some Gyan type consciousness. The heart is also functioning with a sense of compassion, but at the same time we don't go to pieces about it. If suddenly mother and father die, suddenly children die, yes, this is a tragedy. Don't try to say, oh, this is just their karma or something like that. How is that going to be comforting? We see it many, many times. Even Hiranyakashipu was preaching to his family members. I think it's the 2nd chapter of the 7th canto. He's preaching to his family members about the death of Hiranyaksha. they're all weeping, etc. So even he is understanding the philosophical aspect. But at the same time, there is the material consideration. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he talks about this in the 6th chapter, I think, about being balanced. This is a holistic process. Everything has to be incorporated. Srila Krsnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who was an object of the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, showed me a manuscript. Why was he an object of Nityananda's mercy? What's the pastime? When he, apparently in his family life, he argued with his brother. His brother had condemned Abhiram, Mini Caitanya Ram. Mini Caitanya Ram had visited their household, who was a exemplary pure devotee, and his brother and the pujari, Gunalava, had not accepted what Mini Caitanya Ram was saying. They were only accepting Mahaprabhu. They were not accepting Nityananda, because Nityananda was in the mood of an avadut. So it was very hard for people to understand the avadut activities of Nityananda. So some would reject Nityananda. But Srila Krsnadas Kaviraj was very angry with this, because his nishta was fully with Nityananda Prabhu. And that night he had a dream, and a beautiful person on a chariot with a palm frond on his emblem came, and it was Baladev, and ordered him directly to go to Vrindavan. So this was the mercy of Nityananda on Srila Krsnadas Kaviraj. He went to Vrindavan immediately at a young age. He was about 18 or 19. So sometimes we get the wrong impression, because there's a beautiful painting that Shamrani did years ago, but it depicts Krsnadas Kaviraj as being an old man in the painting, seeing this vision of Baladev. He wasn't. If you go to the village here, his home village, Jalampur, I think is the name of it, but there you'll find his family house, and they will tell you categorically he left when he was about 18 or 19 years old. He never got married. He left at a late teens is when he left her, and went to reside in Radhakund for the rest of his life, where he wrote the Govinda Lilamrita and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he was a young man when he left, not old. So I know personally I had the impression that he was old when he left, because I could see this painting. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada said a painting tells 1,000 words. So if we're doing a painting to put in a divine holy book, it has to be under guidance, and it has to be correct according to Tattva and Siddhanta. If it's not correct, Sanatan Goswami, when he's asking Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, who am I? Ki ami? Who am I? He's saying, everyone is calling me a great pandit, a great scholar, but actually I don't consider that the truth. I want to know what is my spiritual identity. Mahaprabhu is responding this, Jiva Svarupa hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. You are an eternal servant of Krishna. And then Krishna Boli say Jiva Anadi Bahir Mukh. Ataiva Maya Tare Deya Samsara Duk. This is again from the same chapter, Madhya Lila 20, Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Jiva who has forgotten Krishna has been preoccupied with the external potency since time without beginning. He couldn't find the internal spiritual strength. So the overpowering potency of the illusory energy completely took away the Jiva's power to discriminate, and he just falls under this sway. Why? Because the Jiva wants to enjoy matter. That's the specific reason why the Jiva actually comes into this world. He does get a choice in the Tatastha region. he gets a choice to either go back and serve the Lord in his divine spiritual form, or to become like the Lord and like the enjoyer, like the bhakta, the bhaktari, the enjoyer. We are not the enjoyers, we are the enjoyed. Consequently, Krishna's illusory potency, Maya, gives him mercy in the form of material existence. Ha! This is mercy. We have to consider all the difficulties in life as mercy. And why are they mercy? Because hopefully they will push us into a place of exasperation with the sufferings. And we'll finally just bow down our heads on our knees. Dear Lord, how can I be relieved of this shocking suffering? When we hear of suffering conditions in the world, actually it's mercy on those jivas. It's karma also, of course, that they are undergoing. But simultaneously, the devotee will see it as mercy. But the materialist will see it as his karma. He'll see it as the fruits of his previous activities. But the devotee sees that as mercy. Mercy which will bring him closer to the... This is the land, the world in Jambadweep, in this Burloka of karma yoni. Karma yoni means the species of karma. In the heavenly planets, it's Bhoga yoni. It's the pleasure species. In the lower planets, it's Papa yoni. But here it's karma yoni. We are incurring our various karmas. But these karmas are going to give us mercy. Jiva Goswami, he says, Dear Lord, please demonstrate this suffering condition as your mercy. I am understanding that all this suffering is nothing but your mercy. Whatever suffering I am undergoing. Therefore, the devotee can become tolerant of all the various afflictions that confront him during his life. Just like the sparks from a fire are the same as the fire in essence, but they're infinitesimally smaller. We are atomic particles of the spiritual potency. Krishna is the supreme origin. That Anuchit, he's the supreme. Vibhuchit. We are Anuchit. We are atomic particles. Krishna is Vibhu. He is the complete whole. So just like the sparks from a fire, a spark can ignite a whole blaze that could even incinerate the whole world if it touched the dry grass, etc. It has the same potency, but it's infinitesimally smaller. Like as another example of taking a spoonful of water from the ocean. The spoonful of water is exactly the same constitution as the ocean, but it's the difference is in its quantity. It's very, very infinitesimal, small. It's so simple philosophy, really. If it wasn't simple, it wouldn't be the absolute truth. It's only complex if you're fighting about it. But if you're accepting it, it's the most simple, conclusive truths for the consciousness. It's like we get bathed in this nectar of the absolute reality. And the soul is so relieved. Consciousness is the soul, the symptom of soul is consciousness. So the consciousness is totally bathed in the nectar of the absolute truth when it's revealed to him. This is why reading a shastra like this can be so comforting and so satisfying for the sadhak to absorb himself in. because we're trying to use material words to describe a transcendental situation. We're limited. We don't have the vocabulary. But we're getting something of a focus. What's it called? Sakhi Chandranaya, where if you want to see a certain star that is very small, you look to the higher, the more bright star, and then you say, oh, it's close to this star. This is the philosophy of Sakhi Chandranaya. Or looking to the moon. Where is the moon? Oh, look between those branches of the tree. There it is. So you're getting some indication by these material words and language. Some indication is there. When we chant nicely, when we chant without offenses, when we actually act on these teachings of trying to become detached from this material world, then mercy will flow from that quarter, from that son of Krishna, from that supreme entity. Mercy will come in the consciousness to understand, to appreciate it more deeply. When we can't attain it through mundane language and words. We can only attain it through our diligent practice and our consciousnesses becoming linked with the divine consciousness. We are Vibhinamsa. Vibhinamsa is the terminology that we're familiar with. Separated. Vibhin means separated. Angsa. Separated from that supreme Angsi. Krishna is the Angsi, the whole, and we are separated from him. Sannyasi Thakur was asking about Dharma. So now, what is the true Dharma of the Jiva? So, the true Dharma of the Jiva is that transcendental substance in relationship to the Supreme, the Brihat Chid Vastu. But they are undoubtedly different as well. That's essential to appreciate. Achintya, Veda, Abhed, Tattva. One and simultaneously different. The Advaita school says there's no difference, ultimately. Therefore, they are Mayavads. The Brahmavad view is to understand a supreme Ishvara, but that supreme Ishvara has also manifested from the Brahman. So that Brahman is greater than Ishvara. This is like the Devas. They believe that Vishnu has manifested from that Brahman. These are subtleties that are helpful to appreciate the whole. Who feels complete? I bet if I asked 2,000 people who actually sincerely feels complete, I don't think many could actually raise their hands and say. That would be an Atmarama, someone who is fully satisfied. That ultimately is a Mahabhagavat, who's completely, even a Mahabhagavat is not complete in his seva attitude to his guru. My Guru Baladev used to say that he never feels that he's satisfying his guru sufficiently, because otherwise then he would stop trying to please. The energy, the dynamic of enthusiasm and greed to please Guru would be reduced if you suddenly thought, yes, I've reached that place of satisfaction, I've done so much seva. We never feel like that. Krishna is the eternal Lord of the Jivas, and the Jivas are Krishna's eternal servants. Now we're coming to understand something of Sambandha, the relationship between these two Vastus, the Jiva and Krishna. This interrelationship is natural. This is a big point. It's natural. That means it's the condition of the heart. You can't force the heart to love something. because the ultimate consideration is based on affection. This is where it's principled. It's the love region that is going to connect you with the Lord. It's the love that you have towards your spiritual master that will connect you to Krishna. It's that transcendental affection that is going to connect us to Krishna. That love is not by the mind, not by Gyan. Gyan will not connect us. Gyan will purify us to a great degree and can help us along the road and clear the avidya. But Gyan ultimately is just like a signpost pointing to where is the truth. But we have to go to that place and have realization, make it a reality by connecting in service, because love, we've said so many times, is the symptom of service. Service is the symptom of love. If you love somebody, if you love anything, you will serve them naturally. If you love your dog or your cat or your husband, wife, children, country, anything, you will render service in that direction. So service is the symptom of love. Very simple analogy of the hand. What is the dharma of the hand? Is to serve the body. That's its function. That is where the hand is going to find satisfaction when it's serving the body. If the hand decides, I want to be independent from the body and enjoy myself, why is this body getting all the pleasure? Why can't I get some pleasure? Then it divorces itself from the body. It cuts itself off. What will happen? It'll just shrivel and be useless and ineffective for anything. And that is exactly like us. As soon as we separate ourselves from the service of the Lord directly, we just become useless in this world. The illusion is so thick that we act, because Krishna has arranged it this way, that we actually think, yes, I'm getting some pleasure, this Jad Anand, this dull material pleasure, and we keep trying for that. It's like the analogy is given in the 7th canto of the Jiva being chased by the tiger, and he falls into a dark well, and he catches hold of the 2 branches, and below him he sees all venomous poisonous snakes in the dry well, and above him he sees the face of the tiger, and he's holding on to these 2 branches. One is the black branch and one is a white branch, and there's 2 rats. They start to eat at these branches. This is the analogy of day and night. But when he fell in and caught these branches, a little bit of honey started dripping from a hive that was in that tree, and it came right past his tongue, and he sticks his tongue out and tastes the honey, and for a fraction of a moment he thinks, now I'm happy. But look at his dilemma. There's a tiger above, his time is being eaten by these rats, he's got danger below. Where is there any cause for happiness? It's danger. But he's thinking momentarily, this is Maya. This is the nature of the hand divorces itself from the body, and for some moments it thinks it's getting some pleasure with that independence from the whole. But how quickly is that terminated by the conflicting misery? I'll read that last sentence again. Therefore, the eternal swabhav or dharma of the jiva is Krsnadas, eternal service and obedience to Krishna. That little paragraph we've just read is so phenomenal. I mean, every single sentence is like a power pack. You can read it again and again to get confirmed of our position in relationship to the supreme position. Because this is always our difficulty. Even when you start to chant a few nice rounds, you'll get some pride straight away. Oh, I'm chanting so nicely. We'll start to understand a little bit of, oh, I can understand Jaiva Dharma. Oh, I can, it's always this I becomes prominent, this pride. must be purified. And Guru and Vaishnavas can really help. That's why we need this association. We need association in our lives. Otherwise, this pride will take us, and we won't even know it's taken over us. It'll lead us into all dangerous kind of situations. Krishna is endowed with unlimited potencies, his Shaktis. His complete potency, Purna Shakti, is perceived in the manifestation of the spiritual world, Chit Jagat. Who is that supreme Shakti that is personified? Sri Radha. Sri Radha is that supreme potency that even has the ability to control Krishna. We were saying yesterday, I was describing to you, Krishna's Radharani's fragrance bewilders Krishna. Krishna is bewildering the whole world by the sound of his flute, and yet the sound of Radharani's ankle bells bewilder him. So this is a remarkable phenomenon, that Krishna is the origin of Shakti, and yet the Shakti has the ability to control Krishna. Why? Because of what we just said, through her love. Aradhana means that one who has the most worship for Krishna, the most love for Krishna. The deepest attraction to Krishna is Radha. Adhika, that means someone who is beyond the best in their ability to please Krishna, to satisfy Krishna. Radhika. The action of the marginal potency is to create an entity, Vastu, which exists between the animate objects, Chidvastu, and inanimate objects, Achidvastu. This is the purpose of Tatastha. It has actually the ability to go between two, the spirit and matter. This had to be manifested for the material world to have existence. There can be no existence if there's no connection between the spirit and matter. So it's this Tatastha Shakti that creates the connection between the spirit and matter. We are living that. We are that marginal energy. Purely transcendental entities are by nature quite the opposite to inanimate objects, and therefore have no connection whatsoever with them. The pure devotee actually doesn't have any connection with matter because he has no attachment to matter. He will interact with matter for the sake of service, but in his transcendental state of consciousness, he has no connection. What's that? Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta Jignashu Shreyan Uttamam Shabde Pray Tanishnantam Brahmani Upashamashrayam. These are the three descriptions of a pure devotee. He is understanding all Shastra, he's fully realized in Shastra, and the last one, he's completely detached utterly from matter. He has no attachment to matter whatsoever. Because he knows there's no happiness in this material world. Why should we be attached to this material world? If I understand I'm spirit, then we want that spiritual bliss which is in service to the Supreme Spirit. And the spirit realized soul realizes that he cannot enjoy matter. Matter can't provide a happiness for the soul because it's matter, because it's temporary. We're in process of realization of these truths, but at least if we catch the parameters of the truth that is being presented, even intellectually, academically, we can catch that. We are praying for realization of these truths, not simply scholastic understanding or ability or academic or something. It's not in the intellect. And in the heart of it, it's in the realm of affection and love for that Supreme Lord.